Hey, YouTubers. We're live home server show. Hey, if you ever need something quick, it's bit.ly, bit.ly/go live now. I've had that for many moons. Many moons. I'm going to minimize this. We're going.
Even though I bought goinglivenow.com and then I sold it back, because you had Go Live Now and I didn't want people to get confused, so I sold it back. It's still sitting in my Hover account as active, but if you go to that goinglive.com, I think it is, it doesn't work. So it's weird. I have to notify him. Say, can you take it out of my domain or my whatever.
And as you said that, a little pop-up backup has started now.
Oh.
So my server's trying to back me up, so I started Launchpad real quick, canceled backup.
Well, I got an update waiting to go on Windows 8.1.
Its computer's been sitting here all day.
I know. Then, all of a sudden you try and use it.
It's like fire up video, and it's like, hey, Dave, I'll do a backup.
That's Cortana saying, oh, Dave, you wanted to do something? Well, maybe I'll be busy while you're busy.
That silly girl. All right. YouTubers, hey, homeservershow.com. Join us in the forums for questions, answers all week long. We will be there. Yeah, the band's back together. All we need is Lux.
I heard from him.
I see him every once in a while on Skype, and
he contacted me the other day at home. He was trying to use remote web access on 2011, and it wasn't working for him.
Lux he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out.
I was like, how about TeamViewer? I told him I never did like that feature. Use TeamViewer.
Buy something.
Oh.
All right, shall we podcast?
Yeah, let's do it.
Make sure I got the...
hold on, I got to turn the fan on.
You turn the fan on, buddy. We could go all night. It is, all of a sudden, it is hot in here.
I'm going to get a glass of water. I'll be right back.
Okay. Everybody go tinkle. Go do what you got to do.
We've only been sitting here for 20 minutes.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Grab some...
I was expecting you just to start.
Breakfast, whatever you got to do. Just
grab some breakfast. But only if you live in Singapore. Because it's breakfast time over there.
Is it breakfast time?
Well, India. It'd be breakfast time in India right now. A little bit later in Singapore. A little bit later in Sydney and our friend in Brisbane there. Rennie.
I got everything in front of me. I've got a little tablet. I have the Asus Mini in front of me.
Oh, nice. You've been using that much?
Yeah, a little bit. Mostly just kind of review-ish. I got the LG G3. I got the Nokia Lumia 635 with Cortana. And I don't even know where the damn power switch on it is. Whoa. I have the Kindle Fire something. 6-inch, 7-inch.
You ordered that, huh? I almost bought that.
$99. It's a Kindle.
Yeah, that's a 6-inch.
6-inch. Yeah, I don't know. It's a 6-inch tablet.
I know. Yeah.
I don't know what to think of this thing. I think I'm going to turn it back in.
For $130, you can get a Nexus 7. It's like...
Yeah. Or, the new Nexus line was announced today, so I think that I'm going to return this.
Yeah.
And go with the Nexus size.
Yeah.
This thing it is so heavy. This thing is so, I'm trying to show you the profile there. It's huge. I mean, it's literally huge.
If it's thicker than a pencil, it's huge.
It is definitely thicker than a pencil. There's the HD, or the Toshiba Encore Mini profile side.
I like that Mini. I kind of fell in love with that thing when you had it there at the meetup. It was
maybe we should mention that again.
Well, I've got a decision to make, with Summit coming up, depending on what kind of. I haven't heard about any deals, so I don't know if they're going to give us any.
I've not heard about any deals. Have you?
No, nothing. I got nothing. I got the registration
on here.
I did put Chrome on there.
That's why there's only 2 gig free. You better go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is the Home Server Show, recorded on October Let's do that again. This is the Home Server Show, episode number 271, recorded on October the 15th, 2014. Oh, yeah. I heard that in the background. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
That's always up to my family to add in.
We're
extra content.
back. The band is back together. That was Mr. Jim Collison. And I have to his right, Mr. John Zadler. How are you doing tonight, John?
Howdy, gents. I'm doing good.
Good to
Been
see you.
playing around with Windows 10 and Server 10. So
We are going to talk some Windows 10. We're going to talk some Server 10. I'm your host, David McCabe. This is the Home Server Show. You can find us on Twitter, twitter.com/homeservershow. And, of course, we have world-class forums. Get out there in the forums, homeservershow.com. Click the forums link and get out there and chit-chat. All kinds of deals, all kinds of servers, all kinds of discussion. We're going to be. I got a couple of things we're going to be talking about out there that have been going on in the forums, and then we're gonna beat John up about Windows Server 10 because he's the only one that's run server. Jim and I are running Windows 10, just have not had the time to jump into server. So we're going to be doing that as well.
Maybe this weekend.
Yeah, maybe this weekend. Throw it in a VM. I've got a whole bunch of news, and we're going to just zip right through that. So let's get started, guys. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about is a deal that came up last year. I think this was last summer. There was a Bits du jour deal on a cloud backup program called DrivePop and powered by LiveDrive. I checked it out, and I found a couple of other podcasters kind of in my circle that were kind of advertising the deal. So I went ahead and bought it, checked it out, looked at it, and ran with it. So I started recommending DrivePop powered by LiveDrive. And Jim, I'm pretty sure I recommended this as a secondary or tertiary cloud backup service, mainly because of the price. I think it started like at $39.99 for one PC and went up from there. Their thing was lifetime unlimited. So it was a lifetime license with unlimited storage. So you could supposedly upload an unlimited amount of data. Now, what's recently happened is they've started emailing a bunch of folks and saying, yeah, guess what? This is really not unlimited anymore. We're going to bill you, and we're going to bill you even more money. And that's got people just torqued off. It got to the point where I got the email. I didn't go over, but they said they were going to adjust my price to an annual price. And the email said, don't cancel your account. Wait till you get an invoice. If you don't like it, then cancel your account. Well, that's the first thing I did was cancel my account. That's just, you shouldn't do that. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there saying, different things about here's what happened, here's why they're doing what they're doing, and maybe DrivePop is the middleman, or they are the middleman, but they're caught in a situation from LiveDrive, who got purchased by another company. The company that purchased them obviously went in and changed the rules. Now they want to make money. Who knows what they were doing? Who knows what they were thinking when they offered all this live stuff? So I kind of feel bad that I recommended this company, but, I did recommend it as a secondary. So my data, I just stranded it. It's out there. If you guys want to LiveDrive, you figure it out. It's out there. Delete it. You want to look through it? Fine. Look through it. I don't care. I feel bad about it, especially if someone looked at it as their primary backup source. This is going to be their cloud source. Because we always recommend having, local storage, a secondary backup local in a different room, and then obviously a cloud backup somewhere. This was my secondary. This is actually my tertiary, my third cloud backup. But I hope that no one's like too bent out of shape. I hope maybe not everybody got the email. I know a lot of people bought into this, and I know a lot of people, even my friends have bought into this, and it went south. It went bad. And, there's a couple people that are really pissed. And for me, I just chalked it up. Hey, I bought some software. I had some backup for a year, and now it's gone. It's not that big of a deal to me. Some folks, it was a big deal. They're really going on about it. You find that in the forums. I'll try to put that link out there. I try not to give it too much attention, but Drive Pop Live Drive, it's no longer. It is definitely no longer. So,
hey Dave, let me just say, let me add my 2 cents in. Because I do this with you. You talked about this in those days, and I do for a minute. If you're a listener here, and we spend a lot of time working on equipment, messing with stuff. We spend a lot of our own time doing this for you guys. And let me say 99.9% of the time, I'm super proud of our community for this stuff. There was a moment this week I wasn't, and I got to the point where I thought, screw it, I am never going to recommend another thing to you guys again, right? If you're going to come back at Dave this way, or you're going to, now coming back at the company, saying those kinds of things, right? They didn't handle this correctly, and the company could have done things differently. But I want to say to you guys, and I appreciate there are so many of you guys that do such a great job of treating us right and well, and just let's not continue to go down that path. We're a great community. We're a great community because you guys are great posters. I get that. Don't go after Dave. We recommended this. We worked on it. Don't do that. And so I do appreciate the folks that, and there were some who were like, hey guys, look, this happens, right? And it does happen. You think you're doing it right. You think this is a great deal. You put it out there. You took the brunt of this. And so let me just say, let's tone that down, community, just a smidge. And it happens, right? I mean, we got blasted. Remember the days when we got blasted for a drive extender? But anyways, that's all I want to say. I was going to write that in the forums, and I just thought, no, I'm going to get a chance to say that. I just want to say to the community, super proud of all you guys. That wasn't a proud moment for me. A few of those posts were not proud moments for me. So
yeah, I didn't feel that bad about it.
Okay, good.
I mean,
good.
I felt bad enough about the service that maybe some of our members are out $30-$40.
No, right on. No, right on.
I felt bad about that.
Yeah,
but I didn't think. They voiced their opinion.
Sure.
They're pissed. That's fine.
Yeah.
They can be pissed. I don't.
All right.
They put it down, and maybe Live Drive and Drive Pop get to see that. Hey, you guys screwed up. I take it personal because this is something I did recommend.
Right.
The bad thing is, I vetted it, right? I paid my money.
Right. And you were all in.
I went to another member site, and they got a little kickback from me. It's like, copy.com. You sign up, you get, I get 5 gig, you get 5 gig kind of thing. So I went to someone who had it signed up, and then I checked it out. I uploaded my stuff. I remember back then they had a Windows phone app, and I thought that was cool. And I showed that, and I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's throw it out there. Let's recommend this. And so I felt bad about that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I wasn't the first one that found it in the forums. So I don't feel bad about that at all.
Okay. Well, that's my 2 cents. There was a moment when just as I was reading.
Maybe I didn't even see that.
Okay. Well, good.
I didn't even see it. I've been so busy. It's been just crazy nuts so busy for me. So, if someone was talking bad, I'm going to go find it now.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things. It was a moment where I was like, all right, I'm going to say something. I wrote it all out, and then I deleted it. And I'm like,
that's good. Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Write it and delete it. And I'm super proud of the community because you guys rock in a lot of stuff that we do.
Thick skin. Gotta have thick skin.
Plus,
There was
for sure.
couple of posts out there were just like, forget it, dude.
But trust me, don't go after Dave McCabe. I will find you.
Jim
I will
back
hunt
me
you
up.
down.
He will back me up, people.
I will find you.
Hey, one thing that I did recommend to you guys, Plex and Plex Pass. And this one, I put my money down too because they got me. They got me good, Jim. They emailed and said, hey, Plex is going up. We're going to raise the price like in a week. We're going to raise the price. And we think that you should get a Plex Pass now. And I'm like, crap. I just did it right then. I paid $75. I got a Plex Pass, and I'm still not using Plex.
Yeah.
I've got it. I've got it loaded. I've got some apps, and I've got it on my Toshiba Encore Mini. And I watched the other day, but just because I purchased it and I have it, I watched a little movie that I've gone on there, and it worked. Everything works fine, but I still don't use it.
Right.
But I think I know why they came out and said, hey, guys, we're going to raise our prices.
Right.
So if you go to plex.tv/Xbox, Plex is now available on the Xbox One and the Xbox 360. So do you guys think that's why they raised their prices? Because they were about to become very freaking global?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I-
No doubt. They got a great model, right? I mean, it's worth. I mean, if you are a struggling media center user, and you've ripped all your stuff, that's a great way to do it. And I went month by month with Plex, and same thing, right? I mean, we're on the opposite end of the spectrum. You see the lifetime deal, you're in. I'm a month-to-month guy, and I did it for about 3 or 4 months. Nobody was using it. I just canceled it. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I will buy it the next time I need it. Because $4.99 or $3.99, I think it's $3.99 now for a month. I pay that for a rental. So, it's like I'll pay for that for a month and watch my movies that way if I'm going to do it. There'll be some months I don't. And so, like with the Drive Pop deal, I don't go for those lifetimes because I just know it's like, I don't know. I'm just not a big put out the money lifetime guy. I'm a monthly, and in this case, I'm a big monthly subscriber because then I can just cut it off if I want to and be done with it and not feel guilty that I spent too much money on it.
Yeah. John, you using Plex?
Yeah, I use Plex, but I don't have the pass. I installed the Plex server on my MediaSmart, and then on my I have a Western Digital box, and then also on the PC I download the Windows 8 app, the Plex app, so I get my content play around that way. Nice. It's nice and fancy with the screen, the cover backgrounds and all that stuff there.
Yeah, it is pretty fancy. It's pretty fancy. I like it. I've been increasingly growing away from the entire ecosystem that we built by hand with our servers and our DVDs and our ripping and our My Movies and Media Center. I'm getting away from it, guys. I ripped all those DVDs. Nobody watches them.
Yeah.
Nobody freaking watches them. They start Netflix. They go to Amazon Prime, which I'm glad that they use these services, but they never look through the DVDs. So I got to figure out a way. And honestly, I've got 5 billion folders on the server loaded into the Plex, but I don't have anything named correctly. Like all the home movies, there's a folder that says, boy's birthday, and then there's 30 videos underneath it, and they're not labeled or anything. So I don't know how you even browse through there properly, but it's a mess. Nobody uses it. The whole house, nobody uses it. In fact, we want to watch a movie, they're like, go get the disc.
Right. Or we're still streaming. We do a lot of Amazon now, and even though I am ripping some, I'm ripping the ones that I want to watch over again, or what have you. We might want to get access to again. So
I even tried to rip. Okay, here's the bad thing. That was kind of bad. I rented from the library. I got Walking Dead first season because I wanted to see the director stuff, where they chat about, hey, this is a scene where, remember when that zombie tripped and started laughing, we had to recut it, stuff like that. But they only give you 7 days, Jim, to watch an entire season full of DVDs. I was like, no way, I can't watch this in 7 days. I'm just going to rip it, then I'll watch it, and then if, I might delete it, I might not, I don't know. It wouldn't rip. It wouldn't rip. I don't know why.
I've had some DVDs recently that would not rip. You know, they've got some DRM on them or something along those lines, and
Yeah,
I just give up. It's like whatever.
I've got the any DVD HD, any DVD HD by that Sly Fox or what are those guys?
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah.
And a lot of folks are ripping them to watch them on their iPad or whatever. When I travel, I work so much now that traveling is a great work opportunity for me. And my kids aren't that age where I need to keep them entertained, right? They'll find their own way. So I might be in a little different situation. I can't remember the last time I watched a movie on a plane. We just with all this traveling we did. Of course, United now is 100% Wi-Fi for the most part. Southwest is getting that way. Wi-Fi is just so easy to pop in and just do it. Now they won't let you stream YouTube and some of those other things, but
They won't. But last year when we went to Summit, Jim, they didn't know about Amazon Prime Video, and I streamed. I was running the Dell Venue Pro 8 at the time.
Yeah.
And I cratered its battery several times over.
Yeah, it will.
And it worked perfect.
Yeah, but it'll just your battery's gone like that. So it's it's our secret. So it's just for me it's Wi-Fi. Get to email, bam, start going. And so I'm a little bit of media. Actually, I've been doing some chatting with folks. You know, log into Google Plus or something and get some IMs going or something like that. So for me, the media hasn't been as important.
Yeah. Well, it's just my whole thing is I'm slowly moving away from what I created in the first place.
Right.
And I honestly think that I could go to just a single Synology box and be fine with it and not worry about the server and all that stuff. And I've got VMs going and crazy, crazy stuff. So now next week it'll change. I'll find something. I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever.
It always sucks you back in.
Yeah.
You think you got this, and then you're like something new comes out, like Server 10's out, and you're like, oh, I got to install that. I got to try this. Let's get this thing rolling. So
this comes at a time where my Media Center PC, TiVo Center, is acting up, and it's been a pain in the tush. It's a huge pain in the butt. But that thing's still chumming, just tearing it up. I mean, it records shows all week long for the family, and they do watch those. I could do it with the Tableau. I've got a Tableau sitting behind me. We stream that to Roku. That works just fine. I can stream it to the iPad. That works just fine. But it's not quite like the Media Center.
Well, and Kibi Glenn in chat says, he's in New Zealand, and of course they don't have a lot of the options. No Netflix. So it's a little bit different. We come at this from a very Midwest-centric. You and I, at least, come at this very Midwest-centric United States. Unlimited in the land of plenty, unlimited bandwidth, options, access to everything. And we still have to remember, we got some folks with some bandwidth caps and areas that don't get Netflix or even Amazon Prime.
Maybe the dingo ate your Netflix. Sorry.
That's pretty good. Pretty good, Dave.
So all the Australians just hit stop on their.
That's it. It's unsubscribe. They're
on
out.
their podcast player. My apologies. Someone mentioned TiVo. TiVo Center is my old Sony TiVo Series 1 with a computer shoved into it. TiVo has a new box called a Romeo. It's a 4-channel. It's $169, and it gives you the TiVo guide, the TiVo remote, and it actually has a Netflix app in it. It has an Amazon app, but it's only Amazon like rentals. It's not Amazon Prime, so you can't stream Prime. The kicker is it's $15 a month. It's still TiVo. They still want their juice. And man, if that thing was like I think if it was $10 a month, I would have I would be TiVo Romeo. Because I'm a cord cutter. I don't have any cable. So we try to stay away for those monthly recurring costs. We're already monthly recurring on Netflix. Technically, we're monthly recurring on Amazon Prime. But I just don't want to add another one.
Yeah.
So we'll just figure it out. We'll just keep going. Maybe I'll get a new motherboard. I need more horsepower in this little TiVo TiVo Center. So that started out with on Plex Pass. So I still like the Plex. I use it every once in a while, but not as much as I used to. The next topic came from the forums, actually, and some guys were asking around about Windows Home Server 2011. It's like, hey, I need to buy a license. Anybody have a license I can buy, or anybody can find one? And everybody was just like, yeah, just look on eBay. You know, they're out there. Just go to Newegg. And they're not out there. They're not out there anymore. Windows Home Server 2011 is slowly off the retail shelves, out of the warehouses, and honestly, off eBay. You really can't find it on eBay anymore. Let me go out to eBay while we're sitting here and just look for...
There's my retail copy of it.
Server 2011.
Keep that behind me. And I've even got, I still got, if you look at the, I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah,
there's the original.
I just lifted your license
my key. Yeah, good luck. Go ahead and use it.
Okay, well, here's some. There's Windows Home Server 2011 64-bit one server OEM. Here it is right here, $50.99. 2 bids on this thing. New Jersey. And wow. So I have a license too, Jim. I used it off of MSDN for how many years? 4 years?
Right.
3 years?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt bad about it. I bought a license. So I don't know. Should I feel bad? Maybe I should sell that.
Nah. I'm keeping mine for old time's sake. Yeah. Yeah, no, right on.
All right. I'll keep it. I'm going to watch this auction, see how much it goes for, though. If it goes over 100, Jim.
Boom, you're in.
Boom. It's on eBay.
Hey, Newegg right now, Windows Server Essentials 2012 R2 64-bit edition, $273. That's not bad on Newegg.
That is not it. That is not bad at all.
Essentials, no, $273. It's not $50. I mean, they ruined it when they put 2011 down to $50. They just ruined it for everybody because nobody's going to pay more than $50 per server. You know, these
Amazon.
But yeah, but $273 new at Newegg. That's almost, and it's in stock. That's almost tolerable, right?
Wait a minute. Windows Server 2012 is $245. Amazon Prime.
Boom. Right there.
Booyah. All right, I'm putting this in chat. You guys, go buy 10 of these right now.
Bam. That just happened.
'Cause someday they'll disappear. Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting. You know, 2011, we used to wait for Newegg to put it on sale for $35. And, you know, everybody, you know, out in the forums would be like, yeah, I picked one up. I bought one. I got this. I bought it. Yeah. So... And what I was doing, Jim, is I was thinking about using that license, loading up. I've got an N54L behind me, and I was thinking about, you know, a big RAID card, mirror the OS. I've got the laptop drives in a little holder up there. I was just going to load it to the hilt, dual network card, and throw it out there for like $700. Something crazy, just completely full, jammed full of drives and you name it, and see if it would sell. See if I make a coin on it. I don't know. We'll move on. Insteon, if you're interested in Insteon, I set up my Insteon starter kit, and you can find that at homeautomationforums.com. $199 for a little Insteon starter kit. Comes with a network camera, the hub. It comes with a lamp module, and it comes with a motion sensor. So for $200, you get a little starter kit. It's every single piece of that gear is on my server rack. So I can jump onto the app and I can view the rack. I can turn on a light if I need to. And if there's any motion near the server rack, it texts my phone. Bam. It's funny because I'll walk down there to do some work and I always forget. And I stand at the keyboard and I see that sensor and I'm like, crap, I'm about to get it, and my pocket vibrates. I'm saying I'm about to get a text. Works great. It works great. So I don't know. I may try some more things with this Insteon stuff, but we'll see. HomeAutomationForums.com. Just look for the Insteon. Got some feedback from a listener, Derek. Asked why I don't recommend Cloudberry as much as I used to. And honestly, I thought I did. So Derek, he says it's native to 2011. It's got a plugin. It has a plugin for Essentials. You can use tons of targets, and I should recommend it more often. And you know what? He's right. Derek, you're right. Cloudberry. It's a great piece of software for 2011 or Essentials. And I use it. I personally recommend it. I don't think they're going to pull a drive pop on you. So I'll try to get a link in show notes so you can purchase that. You know, last year, John, I did a deal with Cloudberry. I should contact them again.
It was a special, and you got that. And then he even extended it there for a while.
He did.
I have it. I'm using it on my version 1 and on my SBS 2011 Essentials box too. I use it for local backup.
Contact those guys.
Because one of the things that I kind of recommend for folks is, you know how folks who are running Windows Home Server 2011, when they're doing the backup of their shares and stuff, you have that 2 terabyte limit for the built-in software, which backups the OS, and then you can also pick the shares. But that's an image backup, and then you're limited to 2 terabytes because it makes one VHD. But if you use a Cloudberry instead, then you can point to all your shares and you say back up those shares to an external box, and you don't have the limit, And what's nice is you schedule it, because even on version 1 there, Home Server, when you did the backup, you had to have the dashboard open, and you had to stay on it, or if you closed it, then it stopped running. It wasn't running in the background, and here Cloudberry runs as a service in the background. So you could say, at midnight there, because let's say you don't have a very powerful machine and it starts, slowing down, and you're clicking to try to get some stuff. It's annoying when it's backing up. So you say, you know what, just do that stuff when I'm asleep. Start that backup and stuff. So I recommend it. And like you said, I use it for the local stuff. But like you said, there's a lot of targets that you can use to go online.
Yeah, I use it for local. Actually, I have a couple of backups that kick off like every 2 hours. Every 2 hours, I have it check. Like if I have pictures or something, if I've put some pictures on the server or my documents, every 2 hours I have it check and back it up to a NAS in the house, a Synology NAS, as a network target. That way, if the server just absolutely blows up, I lose every single stinking file on that server, at least I know every 2 hours I've backed up to another box. If I was working on something, then I at least have it. I do have that. So, another thing, a big fan of OneDrive, Office 365, Office Online. So I don't even know why I do anything local anymore, because that's what I do. I don't even have Office installed on this machine. I just do it in a browser, do it in a cloud. So
there's quite a few, Dave, though, in the forums very suspicious of cloud. Just not willing to trust it, and that's fine. I mean, hey, I get it. So,
I try to be sensitive towards their needs, towards their fears, towards their bandwidth caps. Maybe.
Yeah.
We try to be sensitive. I understand.
Yep.
And hey, back when I lived in Wisconsin and had to do smoke signals to get my files uploaded,
right?
We would schedule vacations, and then I would turn on the upload, and then the lightning bolt would hit, and the power would go off, and the server would shut down on the UPS. I would get about 200K uploaded and come home, and that was just the story of my life. Mm-hmm. But I understand. Now that I've got this huge bandwidth, a huge pipe, fiber, dedicated IP address.
Pretty nice.
Not bragging or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all.
This is good to have fiber.
It's good to live in Indianapolis.
So, hey, thanks for everybody that gives me feedback. Another listener says, dude, you should be recommending ReadyNAS 5. Gavin says it has a plug-in for Plex Media Server. He uses it with his Roku version 2 and 3, and it can play MP4, properly formatted MKV files flawlessly. Gavin says he's been using the setup for the past couple of years, and Ready NAS Pro 6 plays his movies flawlessly. So, Ready NAS. Honestly, I need to open up to get some guys on here that are running different systems. And I know you guys are doing it because we've got tons of people that hit the forums that are just Linux nerds, complete in and out, and probably should get them on the show. So if you're running some kind of crazy NAS system that I usually don't talk about, so I usually talk QNAP, Synology, and Windows. If you're running something different, man, why don't you give me a holler? Podcast@homeservershow.com. Maybe we can get you on the podcast. We can talk about your setup. We can talk about some of your Linux stuff and let you nerd geek out with all kinds of command line stuff. And
Hey, let me just say, Drobo's gotten really, if we're talking about NAS, we got to talk about Drobo because that's what I do. They've gotten pretty aggressive on their pricing. So
I need a soundboard.
If you're all of a sudden, yeah, it's not as expensive as it used to be. Let me just say that. You can find some pretty good deals. I'm running mine right behind me. Continues to work well for me.
Yep. There's no reason not to have at least one Drobo, a QNAP, or Synology box.
That's my NAS, right?
In addition to your Windows Home Server.
In addition to.
In addition to.
And maybe 2 Windows Home Servers.
There you go. And something in
And in John's case, a 0.5 home server because he reinstalls it every week.
Right.
Good thing I have multiple home servers because I back them up to each other just so that then I can reinstall and back them up and reinstall.
There we go.
Hey, speaking of OSs, last week, I think it was last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, the Windows 10 folks hit the stage and said, we've got what you want. We've got what you have been waiting for ever since Windows 7. You've wanted this. This is Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
Not Windows 9.
Bring it on.
Windows 10. And so Windows 10 technical preview has hit. Windows 10 Server technical preview and System Center technical preview have also dropped. And those bits are out there. You can run them. I have Windows 10 in a VM on my Server Essentials R2 2012 Server Essentials R2 server. I have that VM running. Not using it. Not using it really a whole lot. I'm kind of happy with my Windows 8. But I must say, my Windows 8, I rarely use start screen. I rarely go full screen on my 27-inch monitor.
No need to anymore.
Desktop kind of guy. Which kind of makes me go back to this meeting that they had. They invited, all the big bloggers and stuff to San Francisco to show them Windows 10. And they came out, to me, kind of pompously, this is, here's our new product. This is what you've been waiting for. This is so awesome. We've showed it around. Here it is. Ta-da! Windows 10. And I'm just sitting there going, I don't know. Everybody is kind of like gushed over this thing, John and Jim. Just this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Thank God they've got it right. They got it right. Yay! They got it right. Get our flags out. And I'm just like, does anybody not remember Windows 8? Does anybody not remember like really how bad it sucked? And you're just, I don't know. It rubbed me wrong. It rubbed me wrong. The whole
way they did it.
Presentation of it.
It's damage control at this point. They're trying to scurry away from Windows 8 as fast as they can. In fact,
we know that.
2 versions.
But they're not saying that.
No,
they're like, no, this is.
Yeah, no, they can't.
You asked for this.
Yeah,
this is what you asked for. We're giving it to you.
Yeah.
Pat us on the back. Here it is. Now, I like Windows 8 for some of the qualities that it has behind the scenes. And I'm going to like Windows 10 for those same qualities that it has behind the scenes. I'm still going to be a desktop user.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they fixed it. I'm glad that I can start to the desktop. I have a start button. I don't have to pay for what am I using? I don't even remember what I'm using right now. One of those $5 programs where you can get the start button back. Stardock from Stardock, and it works great. It's never given me any problems. Never had any hiccups. Never any memory issues. Never had anything with deep integration that people say, yeah, but Microsoft will be able to integrate it so deeply into the operating system. You'll never have any issues with it. I just click my button, and my menu pops up. And I have a menu button for Windows 8. Now, here's the other thing. When I click my start button, it kind of getting on my soapbox here before we start talking server. When I click my start button, I don't just gaze into the corner and start reading my news, my tweets, my People Hub. The greatest thing since sliced bread is freaking People Hub. I don't get it. It's pretty. It's a widgetized start button. It's pretty. I don't use it, Jim. I don't.
It's the best of both worlds, Dave. You get both the old and you get some new. Those things that you use the most common show up. It is pretty.
And it flips and moves and stuff.
It does.
But when I click my start button, I know where I'm going, right? I need to click start and hit Audacity. I need to click start and hit Toidium.
Well, I don't even
hit
put
start.
That down. Just put it in your taskbar.
Yeah,
you don't even
or your major things like your browsers, or I hit the start button and I type. I don't even look at it. I type CAL.
Right.
And calc pops up and I hit enter. Right. Bam! I didn't need to see my Twitter thingy flip.
Yeah, but Grandma
my email thingy flip.
This is the way Grandma uses it, right? They're getting ready to move.
Grandma's not going to use it like that. They're going to be like, why is all this stuff moving?
Why isn't it not on my desktop?
Where's my iTunes? I need to launch my,
Wow, you really don't like it.
I don't get it. I like it. I do. It's pretty. I like it.
I thought it was a good compromise, to be honest with you. I think once you get used to it, I think it's a pretty good compromise. You get a little both.
Do you click the button and look down there and kind of pause?
I usually know where I'm going.
Flippy? You're like, oh, look, maybe I should click this article.
Probably not.
Maybe I should click.
But maybe something catches my eye, and I do.
That's just like Facebook. Go there to check a message, and you get a bears riding monopods. So the last thing I need is sleeping dogs and cats. Yeah, no, I'm being kind of fussy about it because, I mean, it's what they should have come out with in the first place. They went way too far, way too fast. They made a mistake, and they're not saying that. They're just saying, here's what you want. We have what you want. Yeah. And so I'm just trying
to they've said that, though.
Put them back into their place.
I think they have said at some point, hey, we made a mistake. I mean, they're not going to come right out and say it, but I think they know, right? This is why it's changed. Hey, we probably went a little too far, too fast. So
they need to come out and say that. They need to make me feel better.
When we're at MVP Summit and we're at one of those sessions, I'm going to stand up and say, damn it, Dave McCabe wants to hear you say it.
I'm going to be in the back going,
say it.
I don't know
really loud. Say it. Say it. You'll apologize.
Hand in my MVP card right there. Sorry, I'll leave.
Dave, just turn your Surface in. That's it.
It's donut on my way out. Bastard Jim. I wanted breakfast tomorrow.
He said on the podcast, say it.
So, no, I don't get that. Give me my desktop. Give me apps. Let me tile. I think
it's going to be configurable. You'll be able to turn that on and off.
Jim, do you know when I snap an application? Do you know when I snap an application? By freaking accident. It's when I click and drag and I move the cursor accidentally. It's like snaps. I'm like, oh, crap. Now I have to drag it back. I didn't want to snap that. I don't snap. I'm not a snapper.
Right.
I didn't do 2 live tiles. Everybody said, oh, this is great because you can put Twitter over here and then you can have your other app snapped over here. Snap this. I don't snap. I'm not going to snap. I'm not going to snap 3. Now I can snap 3 things. I'm not.
I'm not a snapper.
Snap you. I'm not.
John, what do you think of the new start menu?
John, let's hear it. From Canada.
On Windows 10?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like it. I'm a desktop kind of guy, so I like the new. It's a combination, right? It's the Windows 7, and because I think the whole story is that they're getting, for the people who are used to Windows 7 machines, if they want to push them, basically that's what Microsoft's goal is, that they want to kind of push Windows, well, in this case Windows 10, to the enterprise, and people are used to seeing their start, the way their start screen is in Windows 7 and XP. They want to see the same thing in this version. So it's nice that they have that, and at least you start to see a little bit of what's on your computer. Because remember before you can you click on accessories and you say, oh, okay, accessories has paint and this and that or whatever. Oh, this is what I could. Whereas more with when they didn't have that interface, just the start menu, a lot of stuff was hidden, so you didn't know where it is. Like sound, what is it? The built-in sound recognition stuff built into Windows. Where do you look for that? Like if you have Windows 8, you don't know where to click to find that unless you type in. But what's nice about what Windows 8 did bring is like Dave said, is you hit the Windows key and you just start typing what you're looking for.
Yep.
And then and then it pops up. But a lot of people are not that type of people where it's control. If you're used to tabs or like Control C or hotkeys, whatever they call them, right? Control C, Control V. A lot of people, they go copy, paste. They're looking, where do I click for paste? Control V, buddy. So all these with the now they have the Windows key and then tab, and they'll do different functions and stuff. So anyway, so what's nice is I like the fact that you can. They brought that Windows 7 back part, the start menu, and then the icons. You still have a little bit of those icons if you want to see your live tiles. But then you can unclick those live tiles, right? Well, not only could you resize them, but then you can right-click on them and unpin them. So you can unpin them completely, all of them. So then you just have the start menu. It just looks like a more modern version of Windows 7. You just have that list there. So that's nice, and then they're starting to add a couple little icons here and there, like the graphics they're doing a little bit different. They're starting to change the way the visual presentation is. But basically, it's a Windows 8.2, right? It's just like a patch. It's that remember originally they said that they were just going to make that available, just like they had the Windows 8.1 Update 1. This was going to be Update 2, and you were going to add it. But they decided, to wait and now call it Windows 10. So there's not that much under the hood, because the same issues I had, the problems with Windows 8.1, I have them with Windows 10. It's not like it got cleared up. So you can tell that under the covers, it's the same thing. A few things did change. Because, with the Windows 8, it was very easy to connect it to Windows Home Server 2011, version 1, SBS, even Server 2012 R2 Essentials. It was easy to connect to. Because remember, before you used to connectors, we had problems. It's not the right connector. All that stuff kind of disappeared, and it all worked properly. But now with this Windows 10 technical preview, you have problems if you try connecting it to a Server 2012 R2 Essentials or to the Server 10. It's not gonna install the connector, because what Microsoft did is see, back in the day, you had updates. You went online and you got your updates. You downloaded your updates, and you had your connector sort of like sitting in the software. Whereas now what they do is when you say go download the connector, it actually goes online. If you're in a hole somewhere, in the, I don't know, underground, whatever, and you don't have no internet connection, and you try to install the connector, it's not going to install, because it wants to go online to go and grab the connector online and pull it down and then install it. So this way, it'll have the latest version of the connector. Therein lies the problem. Because now what happens is it's going to grab the connector, which is for Windows. The only one that's available there is for Windows 8.1 or Windows 8 8.1, and it won't install on the Windows 10. So now, if you've upgraded your Windows 8 to Windows 10 and you want to connect to your Server 2012 R2 Essentials, you're not gonna connect. So they made a couple of changes there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. They've put a lot into this, and absolutely they're going for the enterprise. That's what this is for.
Yeah, for sure.
They're powering up a whole lot of things for enterprise to make those guys happy, and it's going to flow down to desktop's going to flow down to PCs. PCs are back, baby. Tablets they've the the iPad sales are down. PC sales are kind of ramping back up, but I still don't think they're out of the woods here. I think they're going to get some of the same blowback from this. Desktop's going to be back. I know it's supposed to work well in tablets and 2-in-1s and 3-in-1s. It's supposed to sense what you want to do, and I have Surface Pro 3, and I do not want it starting to the start menu. I want it starting to my desktop. I don't, it's not what I'm doing. It's not what I use it for. Hopefully I can set it and put it in that mode and say it's a laptop. Guys, it's a laptop. It just so happens to have a touchscreen.
Let's be real clear about this. When you install Windows 10 or even Windows 8.1 with the update, and you have a keyboard and mouse attached, it automatically goes to the desktop. So I think there's a little bit of confusion out there in chat. When it senses those devices, it automatically goes to the desktop, and in today Windows 8.1 on a desktop works just like Windows 7 does. What I don't like is when you click the start button, you get the Metro screen. I don't like that. Now Windows 10 gets rid of that for the most part, right? You click start, now you get this menu. I think they're also gonna check and see what people do, right? We know they're watching everything on this preview, and they're gonna see what people use, right? That's what people have been complaining about, like, oh, it's a keystroke logger. Well, okay, whatever. It's a preview. You know that they want to get feedback from you. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? You can't use it and them not get any metrics on you. Right? That's the whole intent.
I wonder if they can tell if people. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna back this up, because these are technical people that have downloaded this and are running this. But give this to Grandma, give this to Joe Blow, just Mary Jane, just normal people, and give them virtual desktops and see how long it takes them to screw that up and get lost. There's gonna be some of the same in that. Now, I kinda sorta like virtual desktops. I'll use it for a little bit, and then I go back to just one desktop, because I'm like, okay, is it over here? Is it over here? Is it over here? I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, but our Linux guys have been doing that for a long time. I watched them do that on their Macs.
The Mac guys have been doing it for a long time, and it works.
Fun with it. Flip.
Yeah, they've got these apps over here, this app over here. They've got monitoring up here, and it's all virtual.
Yeah, it's a great way to do it if you have one screen on a laptop. It's a great way to have, if you're copy and pasting or doing some stuff, you have it up on one screen, and then you flip it down to the next one, open that up, and you can flip easily between the two. It is pretty nice for that. I mean, it's crazy that Windows doesn't have that, and you can make that work. There's some software that makes that work, but it'll be nice to bring that back. But you're right. I think initially that will cause a great amount of confusion. I don't think it will be enabled by default, right? I think this is the default look that it's going to come out of the box on, and if you want to enable that, you can get multiple screen views on that. What? Because on a dual monitor setup, would you really want something like that? That would be so messy.
No, you don't need it. And maybe maybe they'll have that figured out. I'm worried about the blowback on that.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I think that are positive about it that I have not seen yet, and maybe it's in server, and maybe it shows up on tablet mode, that I have not been able to get a feel for. There's something called Storage Sense. And Storage Sense is supposed to be on Windows 10. Now, that's just like, I don't know if that's rumor, if that's written somewhere. It's down pat. But Storage Sense is supposed to make my life much easier with this Toshiba Encore Mini, where it's almost like Android. You plug in an SD card, and this thing only has a 16 gig SATA drive, a hard drive. I'm supposed to be able to move apps. I'm supposed to be able to do things with external storage more smartly, and that would be freaking awesome, because I don't know if I have a 32 or I have a 64 in this little tablet, which is how much bigger than what it came with, a 16? I have 2 gig free on the hard drive. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to that. And John, I don't know, are are there better options for storage spaces, or do they even call it storage spaces in Windows 10 Server?
I didn't check to see if they have storage spaces there. I don't know if they pulled that out or not.
Okay. My correction, I have 3 gig free, 2.94. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think that will come. What I've been trying to do is get some good backups of this thing before I tear it up with Windows 10. It's $99. I don't know what I'm worried about.
Dave, I was going to point out there, like for the people who like Windows 8 and they don't want the the start menu start menu instead of start screen. Let's say they prefer the
start button,
screen.
Start menu.
Yeah, start menu. Let's say they want the start screen. There's an option there where you can right click on the taskbar, and then you can say that when I hit the Windows key, open up the start menu, the full screen stuff instead of the start screen. So at least those people who like that, they'll be happy with that. And I think there was something else they said. Use start menu instead of start screen. And for navigation is like if you have multiple monitors, whatever monitor you're at with the mouse, if you hit the Windows key, it'll pop up on that screen. Your start menu will pop up on the screen that you're at, instead of always at the one monitor.
Windows 8 does that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could jam up the start. I was running 3 monitors at one time. Now I'm back to 1.
Yeah.
I'd have the start menu on my Surface and the desktop on 2 other ones.
The other thing I played around with was because they released 2 versions of the Windows 8, right? I thought it would just be the Enterprise because based on like you said that that little show that they had for the Enterprise people and whatever, I figured they would just release the Enterprise version, but there was it was the Enterprise and then the basic one, which is the consumer one. And the consumer one had the option inside. I don't know if people have played around with it. I played around with it. I got it going myself. Is the media center, because you have that anytime upgrade or that option there in there. When you go to right-click properties, let me see somewhere. Yeah, right-click properties. You have the option there. It asks you add stuff. So what happens is you can actually add if you had bought the for Windows 8, if you had bought the Windows Media Pack, which gives you Windows Media Player and Windows Media Center, you put in that key, and you reboot, and bang! What's funny is because the computer comes back up and it says it's Windows 8.1 now instead of Windows 10. It says it's Windows 8.1, and the Media Center stuff is working. But I find on my version, I actually the EPG guide, the electronic program guide, like the data doesn't update. But I don't know if that's just a problem with me or if anybody else is having it. So that was an option. And Tony Rayner in the forums, he had mentioned that if you do that, I think you might end up getting nailed with the future updates. As Microsoft released some update, because he pointed to a post and Microsoft somebody mentioned that because you're using a legitimate key instead of that preview key. That kind of messes up their system, so then they won't get no updates. But I just today on patch, well not today, but on Patch Tuesday there, yesterday I did get 3 or 4 updates for Windows 8. But when you try to click on the button there, they have an option now that says click to download new previews or to see if new previews are available. You click on that one, an error does pop up, and so if you decide to make that change where you add the media center, you might not be able to get some updates. You'll have to go back to the way you had it before. So that's something to consider.
But Media Center was running fine, right?
Yeah, it's all working.
So
working properly. Media Center and Windows Media Player was working. Okay. So that's the what they give you on there, and then the technical view preview. Or the Enterprise version, they give you the Windows to go, which is, remember, Jim, you got me one of those keys there, so you create one of these. So what's nice is you can create one of these keys because you have to install. You can only create one of these keys with the Enterprise version, and then you actually point to the ISO, and then it'll go grab the ISO and it'll put it on that key, and and away you go. And that's another nice way for the folks who, if they can't run a VM or whatever, you can buy one of those. Those sticks are a little bit expensive because they're they're like SSD technology, and it's a USB 3. So you can be running, let's say, Windows 7 or Windows 8 on your computer, and if you want to try out Windows 10, get a version on one of these sticks so that you just plug it in, you boot up your PC. The first time it's going to scan your hardware, so it's going to grab all your. It's almost like a clean install. It's going to grab all your devices and all that stuff, and then it's going to reboot. And then the next time it boots up, it'll be like as if you wouldn't know. It'll be like as if you're at your desktop. But any consecutive time after that, it'll only download the drivers for your PC once, or any other PC that you plug it in. So if you go to 5 different PCs, the first time it'll get the drivers, then it'll reboot, and then you'll be good to go. So that's a nice way to testing that out. Because how they said, and you guys had touched on it, if you're using a tablet or let's say you don't use a mouse and keyboard, you'll have a different a little bit of you can't right click on some tiles, and there's certain things will run a little bit differently. So what's nice is that you'd be able to see that depending on where you plug that device in.
I've got it running here. This is a VM. This is Windows 10. It's a virtual machine window. I couldn't figure out how to. I didn't know my IP address to get into it, so I got into it on the server. But this is what I was talking about here for you guys on YouTube. You can see it. This is what I don't like, is all this cruft over here. Now I can see, okay, maybe that you guys load your favorite apps there, and I know that we can drag this, right? I'll probably end up going to this tall version, like it's here. I wonder, can we just get rid of this over here? Personalize. Oh, I can. Colors. No. If I could just
right click on one of the icons, or one of the.
What if I just unpin all of them?
Yeah, you can unpin them all.
Just unpin them all.
Away they go.
But is this big freaking bar gonna go away?
Well, let's see. I haven't done it. I haven't unpinned them all. I don't know. Let's see.
Look at there.
Looks like it. Boom.
Boom. You now have Windows 7. I like this. So this is what I like. Maybe I would keep a row. I could do a row of. Let's see if I do PC settings, pin to start.
Oh, it's so easy to just use the taskbar instead.
Let's just try this.
All right.
Look at this. I can do this, Jim. I like this. I can do this. So we could do. I'm just doing this as. I know these are over here.
Yeah.
Can I put this under here?
No.
Oh, freaking crap. Bastages.
Wow.
Put it under there. If I could do a straight row. Okay, so I got two rows. Maybe I could
my prediction in the final version, that'll all be customizable.
Okay, Jim's prediction.
That whole area will be customizable.
See, I could do pin to start, resize, small. I could do that.
All those options didn't exist in Windows 8 when they first came out. And by the time we got to 8.1, remember they changed all that to be completely customizable on the start screen. And so
Right.
I think this too will go completely customizable by the time we're done. And I think it'll be a toggle on and off, right? You can have it on, or by default you can have it off.
Okay, I could do that, and
Yeah.
I like having a couple apps down here. Honestly, I would probably take things off of my taskbar and put them here. That way they don't fill, because okay, see how that expands? It's already there.
Right.
You close it, okay, bam, it goes there.
It goes back.
I'm used to this down here. I'm used to it. So
you can change that behavior too.
maybe I could just
So it
leave
doesn't
that.
stink.
Starting my OneDrive.
I was told that they were supposed to they were planning on getting rid of libraries in Windows 8. And here in this technical preview, there's Windows Libraries is still there. And Home Groups is also still there. And
Yeah, there's an option right here for Home Group.
And what I was surprised to see was, if my memory fails me, I think if you connected let's say your Windows 8 machine to a server, you would automatically, because it's like part of a domain, you would lose home groups. Maybe the guys in the chat, they'll be able to confirm this for me. If you add it to a domain, you don't you get rid of, you lose home groups, because home groups is made more for like the local people, non-domain people. But when I added my Windows 10 to my actually added it to a domain, and I still have home groups, so it's still working.
I'm on a domain home group.
So I have both. Well, there you go. If it's connected to a domain, your home groups is still working. Whereas, like I said, I think in Windows 8.
To join a home group, your computer's network location must be set to private. Because this computer also belongs to a domain, you can't create your own home group, but you can join one created by someone on your network.
There you go.
I just clicked my start button and typed home G. It came up. It came up. So let's go back to this. Type in home G. Home group settings in Windows 10. Oh, it starts full screen. Oh, I'm glad I'm not sharing it, because my password just jumped right up there. But it started a full screen app. I think that I would have been able to, been able to PC settings, minimize that, right? There we go. Into a window. That's what I'm trying to think of here. Sorry for guys in the audio. You're not getting the whole shebang. This podcast is also out there on YouTube if you want to take a look at some of these screens. YouTube.com/homeservershow. All the videos are out there when we do video podcasting.
Dave, I wanted also to point out that if you're running Windows 8.1 on server 10, Lights Out. You know the Lights Out add-in? There's a version for Windows 8. There's a version for Windows 10, and there's a version for Windows 10 Server. So
I'm sure these guys are
the first guy to run out because that's one of the things I noticed is they're running Server 10. If I try to install some of my add-ins, regular using add-ins, sometimes they installed, but then they would crash the dashboard when you would open it up. So it's a bit like cross your fingers and see if it works. So right there, Microsoft changed some code there. So I guess the thing is now these developers, they gotta move, make some modifications to their limited amount of add-ins that are available.
Yeah. Well, these guys are busy. In the chat, Drashna is saying, "Hey, StableBit guys, works on Windows 10. Tested, works." I'm sure they're gonna dig into it more. But the thing is, Windows 10 is not coming out, next week, next month. This is 2015. Well within 2015, from what I hear. So they've got some time, and this stuff is going to work. If it's working today, it's going to work tomorrow. There.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we have to wait a while because, like you say, it's early days, and like I said, even not only the add-ins are like busted, but some of the if you install Windows, you can connect Windows 8 and 8.1 to the server 10, because the whole story is that's what's nice at Microsoft. For us to use Essentials, is you're using server 10, you're installing the Essentials role. So now you have basically Essentials. Your 25 PCs, you could back them up and all of that. So you can connect your Windows 7 machines, your Windows 8 machines, not your Windows 10s. They won't install because, like I said, it goes online to grab the connector and tries to install it. So you're kind of limited there. But that's it. Some of the functionality where you could back up your PC. So let's say you have your Windows 8 machine, you could back it up to your your Windows 10 Essentials server. But if you want to do a restore, you're out of luck, because with the restore, you have to go online. You have to go on the server and you have to download this 3.4 gigabyte file that installs the deployment tools and stuff like that, where you can install the key, to make the backup the USB key. Well, that whole software won't install because they say, hey, this is not Server 2012 R2 Essentials, so it'll fail to install. So you're halfway there, right? You backed up your PC, but now if you're thinking you're gonna, okay, something happened, now I want to restore, you're out of luck there. Same thing for the I tried installing with 2012 R2 Essentials, they gave you that what they called the media pack. Because remember they had pulled out photos, music, and videos. Well, that pack, if you try to download that for server 10 Essentials, and you install that one, that'll fail too. So
Yeah, they don't have that ready yet.
there's a couple of things where if you're kind of thinking, hey, I'd like to test it out, there's a couple of headaches for you.
Early days, I tried to just put the connector on this Windows 10. It says an unexpected error has occurred.
Yeah.
To resolve this issue, contact the person responsible for your network.
Yeah, you'll get two You'll get two errors. One, I think that error that you got, but then if you actually go in your browser and you go to you Google connector for Windows Server 2012 R2 Essentials connector, and you download it, and you're going to see there's going to be a few of them. One's going to be for Windows 8.1 RT, Windows 8, and then I think there's one that's going to be called Windows 6.1. Anyway, the Windows 8 one is the one you download. So you can download that to the PC. You can install it on the PC. It'll install, but then when you go to connect it to the server, when you run that install again, it'll give you a different error message. Again, so it's like I tried to see if well, what if I manually downloaded it because you couldn't find it online, so maybe that's why it failed. But if you manually download it, install it, try to run it again, you'll get a different error, which again you won't be able to connect to the server with Windows 10.
Yeah, it's still early.
Well, then screw it. I can't trust it ever. It's junk.
Preview.
It's junk. It'll never be good. It's just junk.
Crap. It's crap.
It's just crap.
It's crap.
I can't
No,
trust
it's all
it.
good. It's technical preview for what they've put out. More power to them. I was just kind of in the camp saying, you guys remember the Seinfeld episode where Seinfeld went with a blue shirt to the cleaners, and they shrunk the shirt, and he took it back, and he said, just admit it. You shrunk it. Just admit it. You shrunk the shirt. I just want to hear you say it. So Microsoft, I just want to hear you say, I shrunk it.
I'm standing up, Dave, at
Stand
Summit.
up.
I'm going to stand up and say, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of Panos.
You shrunk it. I'm going to bring a little blue shirt. Hand it to him.
Just admit it.
Just
Bastard.
admit it. You shrunk the shirt.
Oh yeah, the other thing I noticed on the server version is there's none of the Metro stuff is like you get no tiles, no nothing.
Right. They're going to totally move away from that. That was a horrible mistake. That was the biggest boneheaded. I mean, if you want to talk about making a mistake, come on. Jeez.
Yeah. So when you click on the start, you'll just get like you had before the Windows 7, the menu. You won't get no icons there, but they still love you. They still want to give you a little kiss on the pillow, and if you log in as a user, then it's all there. So if you do a remote desktop connection to the server and you log in as a username, then all the Metro stuff will all be there. But if you log in as administrator, it's not. So they kind of, at least they're giving you the choice to do or not to do.
How do you even get to start? I don't even see start. Where would I go to start?
Hit the Windows key.
I am hitting the Windows key. I'm hitting the Windows button.
Oh.
If I hit the Windows key on the keyboard, it just goes. If I type start, S-T-A-R-T.
Now, Dave, you got to be ready. So next Thursday, you and Rich on my show talking all Windows 10. So this should be an interesting. You still game for that? Can you still make that next Thursday?
Next Thursday?
Next Thursday. It came up fast, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
Guess what? I can't make it.
Oh, you're gonna have to find another Windows 10 fill-in. John Zadler on the show.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, hopefully I'll try. I'll be able to. We'll see, get more, learn more stuff. By then, maybe I can.
Yeah, no, we've got Rich Hay coming on, and John. We'll see if we can pull you in.
Yeah,
I did say I could do that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, one of the forums guys there, as a matter of fact, because we had this week was Patch Tuesday, right? So I gotta give some kudos out to I think it's OJ88 in the forums. He was saying he posted something today. He said on Windows Home Server 2011 there's about 15 or so updates, And on Windows 8.1, there's 32 updates totaling 1.2 gigabytes. Like there's a big, fair amount of patches. And then I think there's a bunch of Office patches that came out for Office 365 or Office 2013. So Windows Home Server 2011, which is hard to find here, like we said, there's patches, baby. They're still patching that puppy.
They're so patching that baby. Here's the other thing. I just got on Server 2012 Essentials R2. And you're going to expect me to lift up a brand new server? 10? I don't see them. I don't see me going to this anytime soon.
Well, what's nice is the folks that that have wanted to try Server 2012 R2 Essentials, and they don't want to have the $300, they don't have a TechNet subscription. Basically, this is going to be a free version for the foreseeable whatever 6 months, till maybe next year or whatever. And I think they might do something where at the end there, when you'll just put in a good license and then you'll run. You don't have to reinstall the whole OS.
Oh,
whatever.
John, man, don't make that commitment. People will come back and
Yeah,
scream.
well, that's it. There, so you have to. Well, that's it, eh? They say that, but then down the road they'll end up coming back and saying, yeah, you know what, that didn't work.
Yeah,
but
not only does it not work, but we're actually going to delete your data before you can get to it,
Exactly.
and then you have to reinstall from scratch.
Or all your configuration files will be gone. The apps will be there, but the configuration, like my movies, will start with an empty database.
And it's corrupted anything you've ever had.
Right.
So
I
good
just
luck.
got this thing where I want it. I got my virtual machines. I don't know, when I started that screen share, I had a Windows 7 virtual machine. I've got a Windows 10 virtual machine. I've got it doing all my backups. I got my Cloudberry running. I have a FTP program running in the background, going online and getting WordPress stuff. I've got it running.
Stuff's going on.
It's going. I got things going. I'm not upgrading until you told me you shrunk it. Okay?
Bring the shirt.
Bring in a little blue shirt.
Panos, look at the shirt.
Windows 10, you shrunk it.
Admit that you shrunk the shirt.
Admit that you shrunk it. Windows 8.
Summit's going to be awesome.
Should be cool.
They're going to throw me out. This is
Come to all the
Collison.
Surface. Just come to all the Surface
I
stuff,
know.
Jim. Don't even
I'm
go to the
gonna.
Windows
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I'm gonna. I'm just going to hang with you, man. I'm just
All
gonna
the
show up with
Surface
you.
stuff is open this year. It's all open.
Yeah.
I think if there's closed sessions, there's only a couple. And
I scheduled all the Surface ones I saw. So
okay.
Yeah.
You got the Panos talk.
I'm sure I did. But if not, I think I'm just going to hang with you. You know, those Windows guys, the Windows Experience guys, the Windows Expert, I think is what they call it now.
Right.
They are grouchy, man. I mean,
You don't want to
they
hang
are-
with those
God,
guys.
I'm just going to hang with the Surface team.
Look on Wednesday. Go back to your schedule builder. There's a Wednesday session on Windows Phone. I can't.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
I'm going to that one.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have a whole lot of time. So we're talking Summit. We're talking MVPs. We're going, not this week, Jim, but it's like the next week or something.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
It's coming up.
First week in November.
First week in November. So we're going to Seattle. We're going to hang out. And you got a lot of Surface talk sessions. You get to meet the guys and do all that kind of MVP stuff. Finally get to meet Rich Hay. I know you're going to talk to him next week. He's going to be at Summit. So, and we got the good hotel this year, Jim.
Yeah, we'll be jamming.
I think I'm kind of concerned about going because the Surface guys haven't really emailed me back after the whole I returned the Surface Pro 3 episode. So
I got your back, man. I got
I
your
think
back.
Lynch
Dave.
Mob. I don't think there's
I got
any
your
free
back.
stickers this year for Dave.
I got your back. You'll just
gonna
point
be-
when they're like Dave McCabe, and you'll be like that guy.
Yeah. I'm just
The
gonna
exact
bring just
only-
rub it in. I'm gonna bring a MacBook.
That's right.
There's all these Surfaces sitting in the audience. I'm gonna plop up a MacBook. Panos would
Exactly.
have a
Oh, he'd absolutely come apart.
a blank fit. He would.
He would throw you
MacBook
out.
in
He
his
would throw you out
audience.
of the room.
He would.
He would absolutely throw you out of the room.
Oh, there's a Apple event tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they will be talking new MacBooks and iPads.
Yeah. Yeah. I love my Surface Pro 3. It's a great Great laptop. It's my laptop. It is my laptop. And so here we go. This is going to be Home Server Show 271. If you want to see the video, you want to see me being very animated about this whole shrinking the shirt Windows 8 fail. Here's Windows 10. You love us. Again, type episode. Check us out on the video. On the forums, you can find Mr. Diehard. He's out there. Jim Collison, he's out there. We're all out there hanging out in the forums. Please check us out. Jim is at theaverageguy.tv, podcast on Thursday nights. Please check him out. And we are both members of the Geeks Network, thegeeksnetwork.com. We've got a new podcast out there. It's called the Agnostic Tech Podcast. Those crazy old Surface Geeks guys are out there doing the they're doing the tech scene. Yeah, it's really mobile. It's a really mobile show, but I like it because I really love the mobile stuff.
They were new and noteworthy last time I looked on iTunes. Did you know that?
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that was the plan. I have this like podcasting plan that I pull out of the can to get, downloads and recognition, make sure they've got shows. A lot of guys, they just get a podcast, they record one episode and they throw it out there. So I made these agnostic tech guys suffer a little while. Made them record several shows, and get it out there. And so
I'll have to be honest though. We did video large and video small, new feeds for all my podcasts. And somehow, so the Home Tech Tips, the one that became the short little one, somehow that made new and noteworthy. Not a single review and like 50 downloads, and I somehow got on new and noteworthy. So I don't know what's going on with new and noteworthy, but I was scrolling through the other day looking. It's dropped off since then, but
it's dropped.
But I did see agnostic, the agnostic tech podcast guys.
Big orange logo.
Yeah, big orange.
Yeah, sorry, that's my fault.
Is that yours? Did you make that?
Yeah.
Nice job.
Hey, he's like, we don't have a logo. I'm like, all right, open the paint.
I'm gonna make one in 5 minutes.
That's like a
Fiverr, dude. Fiverr.
That's a 1 minute logo, dude. It was free.
Yeah, well, you could have it for
paying
$5.
$5. The hell.
Nice design and $5.
All right, I'm gonna go out to iTunes and see if I can find those boys. Hey, the Geeks Network. You can. Hey, if you got a podcast, you want to dream up a podcast, you want to do a podcast, I still have WindowsPhoneGeeks.com. I've got that URL. I've got Tesla Geeks. If you want to go out and buy a Tesla, the new Model D,
who wouldn't?
Go buy one of those. Let's start a podcast. Hey, you don't have to do my stuff. You can just do a podcast. If that's in your blood, you think it's in your blood. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you, but I've been doing this since 2008. 2008 and still going. But let me know. Podcast at homeservershow.com. Follow on Twitter, and we were talking iTunes. Go out there to iTunes. Give it some stars.
It's still out there.
Give Jim Show some stars. Give me some stars, and that'll help us all.
Give us a review. You bet.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Hey, Paul Byrne. Bye-bye.
Is he listening?
I don't know. He's probably in Germany.
Yeah, he is in Germany. He comes back next weekend.
Week.
It was fun talking to him. I had him on Thursday early. I recorded about 3 p.m. and just him for about 45 minutes talking about Europe and tech, and it was kind of fun.
I was there.
Yeah, you were. There was a couple live.
Yeah, I don't know if I was listening on my iPod or on my Wii U screen there, because sometimes you can't log in there. There's no whatever it is, Java or whatever they call it.
Right.
Java? You didn't have any Java?
No Java.
The first time I heard Christian say it that way, I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, Java.
Java?
Park the car in the yard?
Okay, I don't see it in the first screen.
No, it's not. You got to
go to tech?
You got to go into the big. No, it's in the big. It's in the big.
Go to technology. Just drop down technology. Some other guy would do. It's not there. Okay.
Featured.
So it's not that great.
No, but it's.
Are we still in the chat?
Yeah, we're still out there. Although chat stopped working, kind of.
Yeah.
For me, it was not working very well.
thanks for listening, guys.
So what you go top podcasts?
Yeah, I did all podcasts, and then you scroll down about halfway.
Technology. All categories? Is that how you did it?
I don't even know how you do categories. Yeah, the whole thing, the whole shoot match.
So do all categories.
The whole kit and caboodle.
I don't even know in new and noteworthy. I don't even know how to break it down by section.
Well, I used to be in top 200 all the time. Let's see, if you do top podcast and then go to technology.
Hey, what are you guys doing over there with the Ebola stuff, man? You're getting too many Ebola viruses there, hits.
Nobody knows how to wash their hands, man.
Oh, look, that's a nice logo. I should have done it like that.
Which one?
It's called Vector. It's orange. I just recognized it because it was orange.
New Ebola in what? Just saw something.
Top podcasts.
It's not top 200.
Freaking NPR is just cleaning
Atlanta. Anybody from Atlanta?
The Walking Dead is.
Yeah, no, it's not in top. I saw it in all. So if you go to the front page, you go to new noteworthy, it says see all. Click that.
All right, hang on. Back
And
to
then
podcasts.
Then you scroll down.
All right,
see all. I see it. I see the link.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
All right, Johnny.
It's
Thanks,
hot.
John.
Take care.
Later, man.
Thanks,
Hey,
man.
so look at next Thursday, John. Let me know.
All right.
We'll talk.
Adios.
We'll talk some more Windows 10. See
You
you, man.
will,
Rich,
we'll
Yeah,
connect.
well,
I think I'll be in Phoenix.
well, on the down low. You know?
Yeah.
All right, man. See ya.
Ciao.
All right, YouTubers. I'm cutting
Ciao,
you
John.
off. I'm cutting off the YouTube. So you
Good
don't
night.
have to
Good night,
listen to me and
YouTube.
Jim just chat.
Good night,
Good night, boys.
YouTube.